Hello and welcome to Hornbill TV special presentation. Today we have a very esteemed guest with us at Hornbill TV. We are sitting with a 5-time legislator and leader of the Naga People's Front Legislator Party, Mr. Kuzuluza Nienu, also dearly called Azo. So we'll be speaking on a range of issues that are currently happening in the state, and we'll also be talking about issues that are happening at the national level that could impact our state, Nagaland too. So without wasting any more time, we'll first of all start the conversation. First of all, Mr. Azo, thank you so much for joining us at Hornbill TV. Starting off this conversation, so this is a very personal question, but I would like, and the viewers too would like to know, so the 2023 elections, state elections currently happened. So in the year 2018, there was the formation of the NDPP party, in which many of your colleagues had shifted their allegiance from the NPF to the NDPP. So you are among one of the few that actually stayed back in the Naga People's Front, and you're still, and today you are the leader of the legislative party, the NPF legislative party. So what made you stick to the Naga People's Front, sir?
Thank you, Chisi, first of all. First of all, I really want to thank you for asking this personal question. Number one, I started my political career as a regionalist party, from a regional NPF party. And you see, we should have some certain ethics called obligation. NPF has given birth to my leadership and also given recognition to my leadership. And so therefore I thought I am obligated to this party. That's why, even though some of our friends has left us, I thought I should remain behind to take care of the flock. And therefore, I have come a long way. After so many years today, I've been made the leader of the NPF Legislative Party, for which I'm thankful to God and the party rank and files as well, not forgetting the president.
All right. So another question that I would like to ask is also about, sir, do you think that in Nagaland, sir, a political ideology matters? And also, do you think that the voters, when they put that vote, when they press that finger in the ballot, do you think that the particular party's ideology matters in Nagaland?
See, till 2018, we saw a lot of people, leaders with principle, integrity. But of lately in 2023, we are really shocked. The question of principle is not with the Nagas. Integrity is not with the Nagas. Honesty is not with the Nagas. No matter how much during your time you have developed or helped, that also they don't count anymore, which is a very sad trend. And it's going from bad to worse.
All right, now moving on to a topic, sir, which I think holds very dear to you. Sir, you are a very fierce propagator of illegal immigrants.
Right.
To the fact that even in the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, you have openly warned the government and all the administration too, that Nagaland could become the next Tripura.
Right.
Over the past few years, we've seen the government and the administration tweaking the rules of the ILP, in which now, even in Dimapur, the ILP is applicable. So, sir, looking at the efforts of the government at hand, sir, would you say you are kind of satisfied with what the government is doing to try and check illegal immigrants in Nagaland, sir?
You see, in everything, we cannot blame the government also. We are equally at fault. But by and large, it is the government who has to implement. So blame goes to them. Since 2003, when I became the MLA for the first time, I was raising this issue, and I continue to do so. Last assembly also, I raised 2 times. The 2014 assembly is on the first session, I raised this issue. And again in the upcoming assembly, I'm putting another question as far as illegal immigrants is concerned, because this is a matter of great concern for the Nagas. Our future is at total stake. We're going to land up minorities if we don't wake up on time. I know the government is also trying its best to implement it, because for the past nearly 1 month, we have seen orders coming out. Every DC, isn't it? Government agencies also trying their level best. But to implement there should be a mechanism, and there is no mechanism. And the mechanism to implement ILP strictly, or rather enforce it, is the RIN, Registrar of Indigenous Inhabitants of Nagas, which was brought out in 2019 by Bano Committee, I believe. If we put this into implementation, then ILP can strictly be implemented. And when you talk about ILP, every Indian you see in the street is not an illegal immigrant. They are Indian citizens. They have every right to come to Nagaland with a permit called ILP, a stay permit, or say for some few days or a week, of that can be extended. But while extending also, the implementing agencies should enforce it strictly. If their period is over, they should be forced to go back. If they overstay, they should be fined. And they should also have different categories of ILP permits. Business permit, this and that should be costlier. Visiting permit should be costlier, so on and so forth. Now, when you come to illegal immigrants and ILP issue, we should try and segregate these two. Illegal immigrants are also entitled for ILP, but their passport, their visas should be checked. And that ILP should not become the tool for them to come and stay here permanently, isn't it? So when you enforce RIN, indigenous inhabitants, those who do not have that will be forced to go out. And so today now, the need of the hour is also having a detention camp. Yes. To identify illegal immigrants, put them in detention camps, and fine them. The fine should be heavy so that they will not be able to pay, isn't it? Then deport them back with imprisonment or both. Then that way we can check. But Nagas are mixed up with illegal immigrants and ILP, and they're clubbing into the same thing. That's why we're having little problem in implementing this. Right. But if RIN is implemented, it's going to be very helpful even in the upcoming delimitation exercise also. Because now almost all the non-Nagas, they have their voting rights. Yes, they may not, we have only one reserve seat. 59 is reserved, one is shell cast. Even if in Dimapur, supposing we have 5 seats, if all the voters are non-Nagas, the MLA becomes a puppet. He will not be able to voice anymore. Because if he voices issues, he will be choked out in the next election. These are the dangerous things. It means it has a chain of reaction.
All right, so another concerning matter that just came up very recently, that is yesterday, sir. The Additional Deputy Commissioner of Medzifama put out a notification in which all Aadhaar updation centers have been advised, because it seems cookie people, they are coming to Nagaland, especially in Chumugidma and Dimapur, where they are now updating their address to Nagaland, even though they belong to Manipur. So, sir, how dangerous is this?
That is equal as illegal immigrants. That is quite dangerous, and I think that should not be allowed. Yes, humanity. When you talk about humanity, you can take them in your house, let them stay for weeks together or months. But after the problem is over, after the situation cools down, I think they should be sent back, and they should not try to become permanent settlers here.
Going to an issue that is going rampant on the national level. So this is about the Uniform Civil Code, sir. So according to the Constitution of India, according to Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy, Article 44 states that a state should endeavor to form a uniform civil code. So what is the NPF have already come out, so but then in person, so what is the opinion of the Naga People's Front, and also as the leader of the Naga People's Front Legislative Party, so what is the point of view? Should the Uniform Civil Code be applicable to the state of Nagaland, sir?
My party, on behalf of my party, I have already come out with an official statement, And we have also emailed it to the 21st Law Commission because they have asked our opinion, so we are giving them. It's a very lengthy one, but to cut it short, to me, there are two very important issues surrounding this UCC. One is, it is a total threat to the equality and rights of its citizens. My rights and my equality is going to be threatened because I have to follow a similar order, one uniform civil code. The number two is the national integration. It is going to be a threat to the national integration. To those in the higher level, that is the government of India, they might be trying to do this to strengthen the national integration. But it will boomerang just the opposite. It will disintegrate the entire country. So there are two very important issues surrounding this UCC. Now coming to Nagaland context. To be very frank, though rights are being given to us, we don't know how to utilize them. And so therefore we are protected under Article 371A. If we are strong, if the assembly is strong, we pass it, and if they impose this also, we'll say no, we are not going to accept this. We can do that. But if they're going to impose it, it's a direct infringement to Article 371A. Number two, it's a direct threat to our tribal ethos and values also. Number three, it's a threat to our religion as well. So for me and my party, we feel that UCC should and can never be implemented in the state of Nagaland. But the latest news that we got was the cabinet team visit to New Delhi, meeting Amit Shah, led by no other than the Honorable Chief Minister Rio. He has assured that it will not touch the tribal areas. So I hope he's speaking about the entire tribals in the country, not only Northeast. If he's going to protect the tribals of the Northeast only, that's also wrong. We have so many other small minority tribals in the mainland. They also should be protected. And this to us is never applicable. And we are going to go vehemently against it.
All right, so I mean, like, speaking about Article 371A that safeguards the rights of Nagas, I mean, so another alarming thing that can be witnessed over the past few years, especially in the northeastern region. I mean, like, you take the case of Meghalaya, you take the case of Sikkim, in which in the 6th schedule, these states have been given certain rights and protection.
Right.
So, but there was the abrogation of Article 370, and now in today's time, so there is a little fear amongst the people of Northeast, in which, since the government at the center is full majority, there could be a chance in which these articles that give us special rights and protection, it could be abrogated too. So, sir, you are a 5-time sitting legislator. You've given your life to politics. So, as a politician, do you think that this could become a reality where Nagaland could no more have Article 371A?
You see, to repeal the act, it needs both house majority. Yes, in the Lok Sabha, BJP has majority, but in the Rajya Sabha, they don't have. So it will be quite impossible, difficult for them to repeal this act.
All right, now coming to another issue that has been a very persistent problem in Nagaland, sir. This is regarding the Eastern Nagaland People's Organization.
Okay.
All right, sir. So you would also know that when the elections happened this year, just about the time the elections were supposed to happen, so the ANPO had decided to boycott the elections. But then towards the end, they agreed because the center assured them of giving them an autonomous council, or rather called the Frontier Naga Territories. So recently, regarding this topic, the updates have been such that the center, the leaders, the government has held a special meeting with the ANPO representatives, and they are now they have met the Home Minister Amit Shah regarding this particular, and the government has said that the formation will be completed very soon. Mm-hmm. So the Naga People's Front, so as a party, you have represented the voice of the Nagas, disregarding where they belong. As long as they're a Naga, the Naga People's Front has been the voice of the Nagas. So Naga People Front has also been the hallmark of preaching unity amongst the Nagas. So do you think that with the formation of an autonomous council, or rather the FNT, so don't you think it's only dividing our communities, sir? And do you think with the formation that the eastern area will actually benefit, or do you think persons will benefit, sir?
This is one question I do not like to take, but since you are asking, I have to be very frank. It's a personal opinion. It doesn't represent my party. But partition of Naga or separation of Naga into two, that officially my party is against. And therefore, in last election also we have given a statement according to that, and PF is not for the partition or dividing the Nagas. That stands like that. Now coming to my personal opinion, you see, when the ENPO said that they will not contest election till their problem is solved. Their problem was not solved, but they contested. They contesting the election means they're not fighting for a separate state. Be very clear about that. They're not asking for a separate state. So a separate state will not come about. But the side effects of having an autonomous council, giving them judiciary powers, administrative powers, financial powers, is very dangerous. In the long run, it will have a lot of negative impacts. And this will be just the starting point of the disintegration of the Nagas in the long run. Because today you are under autonomous council. Later on you would want more autonomy, more freedom. Then slowly you'll start asking for union territory, which you may be entitled with 20 MLAs. Later on it will grow, population will grow. Then once they come to a sizable amount, they will start asking for a state. But who can stop them? So this will be the greatest partition of the Nagas if it happens. So for me, I feel that this is something which the government of India is doing to separate the Nagas. Now disintegration will start, number one. Number two, it is going to be a direct infringement to Article 371A. So if this happens, it may even scrap Article 371A. Number three, we have a Naga political issue at hand, a common cause. That Naga political issue also will be buried. The framework agreement will not be relevant anymore. The agreed position will not be relevant anymore if this happens. And moreover, I have the full copy of their demands and also the Government of India's proposals. It's quite dangerous. What they have written is financial powers, everything will be done by the governor himself. And if that is approved, where does our chief minister stand? He'll be the number two. We'll be having a super chief minister above him. And that constitution does not permit. It is against the ethos of the Indian constitution as well.
So,
but one thing I'm very happy about is the other day the parliamentary minister, Mr. K.G. Kenya, has given a press statement. He said that there will be a tripartite talks. So there it has to involve the government of Nagaland, government of India and ENPO. So without these three approval, they will not go ahead. So maybe a time will come for all of us to debate in the assembly where members will be taking part. We'll see what happens. We no doubt, of course, we wish them the best. We want to see them shine, but not at the cost of the Nagas.
So all right, so the ground reality and one of the main reasons as to why the ENPO had demanded for a separate state at first and now a separate autonomous council was one of the reasons, and the major reasons is the lack of development in the eastern region of Nagaland. And even in reality, when you go towards the eastern side, the reality is quite true, sir.
Right, right.
But, sir, the elections have been happening in Nagaland ever since the state was created, sir. So, the blame always goes to the government. But there are 20 sitting MLAs of the eastern region part of the government. So, don't you think it's very high-handed to just blame the government for the lack of development of eastern regions? And don't you think the leaders that represent these the eastern Nagas could have done much better in providing development to the region, sir?
That's it. You have already given my answer. You see, the 40 MLAs, we cannot blame ENPOs, nor can the 20 ENPO MLAs blame us for the underdeveloped areas. Because we are all responsible, equally responsible. We have our share, holding departments. So if you're going to do development, you can do that. And to be very frank, before 2023, I really don't know what ever happened, what conspired, or what was really happening. But after coming into the ministry of 2003 for the first time, under Rio's leadership, I'm not praising Rio to please him, okay? But truth be told, and appreciation should be given where it is due. Under Rio's leadership, he had taken so much care of the ANPOs. If you want me to mention, one, Duda separate department was given. The backward quota, total quota was 25. It was enhanced to 33 in his time. Isn't it? Then they were having only 3 districts. Now it has 6 districts. Isn't it? So on and so forth. There are so many things.
So, sir, in case the Frontier Naga territory, the whole decision has been finalized and it has been created, sir. So there is also a fear.
Suppose.
So there is a fear that the minority tribes in the eastern Nagaland could also, they would even have more suffering because of the creation. So do you believe that this could be a reality, sir?
It may happen, you never know. You never know. It may happen. But I already told you, let me not further comment on this issue because a lot of friends get hurt.
All right, now speaking about the recent events that happened. So this is about the July 4th accident that happened in the Pagla Pahar area. So the NPF has already given its stern stand as to action should be taken. Okay, and so after the accident happened on the 4th of July, the NHIDCL sent a technical committee to examine the site of the accident, in which I'm going to be pointing out 2 accusations. So first thing is, the NHIDCL said, where would you find such safety features in any other roads in Nagaland? That was number 1. And the second accusation that the NHIDCL gave was, what is the state government doing? Because you cannot provide an alternative route to the public. So those were the accusations. So what is your point of view on these allegations, sir?
See, we have to go through the BOQ and see what provisions are there. And if those provisions are not being followed, then we can blame the contractor or the NHIDCL. But now I think it's too early to blame one another. But NHIDCL has already blamed the government. And for that reason, I think the Deputy Chief Minister yesterday, in charge of National Highway, that is TR Zelang, he has taken stock of it. He is verifying and he's trying to address the issue. So let me not give more comments to that.
All right, now, sir, talking about the situation of our neighboring state, Manipur, sir. It was on May 3rd that the unfortunate violence broke out, and till today, Manipur is burning. We have had several chief ministers of other states like Meghalaya, Mizoram, Assam, Tripura, where they have openly commented on the issue, where they have appealed to the people of Manipur for peace. But a very sad feature is that we being very close to Manipur, so apart from tweets that our leaders have given, there have hardly been any leader that has come open on camera and spoken about the violence there. So, sir, how would you assess the situation in Manipur, and what would your the most immediate advice be regarding the violence happening in the state?
I already expressed my personal opinion on this, and a lot of appreciation came, and a lot of negative comments also came. Both came. A mixture of feelings, I believe. But being a leader of a party, whatever I say, it doesn't mean that I'm saying on behalf of the party. Some is personal to me, on my personal opinion only. So people get hurt. So coming to this context, I will cut it very short. We are not happy with the government of India for remaining silent for more than 2 months now, nearly 2 months. When there have been more than 143 deaths, that is the July 4th report. 140 today is 12. It may have risen, maybe 50 plus. Then churches burned is around 150 plus, say 153 July report. Then displacement of its citizens, that is around 70,000, I believe. See, these figures are alarming. And with that also, government of India not taking action and remaining silent. I already gave in my statement. There must be some secret agenda behind.
There are
Ethnic cleansing, number one. Going against Christians, minorities. Are they turning into votes for 2024? That's what I stated. And today also I want to state that. Because the Hindu mainland, when they come to learn that BJP is all out to ethnic, going all out ethnic cleansing, over and above burning Christian churches, they'll be happy. They'll be saying, we want this type of government, a Hindu type of government to take over. So this is one reason I suspect that's why they're not taking action. Or else it is high time. It's all about humanity. People are dying, homeless, no food. Is there no humanity with the government of India? They should show some action. Let it be any action.
All right, sir, the Naga People's Front also has its representative in the Manipur government.
Right.
Mr. Awangbo Nemai, who is also the Manipur head of the Naga People's Front and is also a sitting minister. So, sir, if you have been in contact with him, so what are some of the happenings taking place that Mr. Awangbo has shared with you?
I'm thankful to him. He came with a good team.
Yes.
And he nearly took more than 1.5 hours explaining the whole episode, how it started and how it's going on to me. There I got more light of it and I came to know the real situation also. So I don't know which one to believe, which one not to believe. But nevertheless, it all started because of the land. Because now the scheduled caste, they want to turn into scheduled tribe because it will give them a certain right to own lands in the hill areas. Isn't that? So if that happens, I think that is not right, that is wrong, because one fellow cannot enjoy two categories. You cannot enjoy scheduled caste at the same time and also take scheduled tribe at the same time, isn't it? You need to choose one. So I think asking for scheduled caste was wrong, and for that reason only things have escalated to this level.
All right. And so now coming to a very state topic and something which is quite, it's raging on social media and also in public talk, sir. So this is regarding the Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act. So when Hornbill TV had interviewed the General Secretary of the NBCC, Mr. KO, so he had openly said that the NLTP Act was a very good act, but it failed in the implementation of the act.
Right, I agree with him.
Apart from which, very recently we've had public leaders and even an advisor who has openly stated, and we have never heard this from a public leader before, in which he has stated that the funds that come through the exercise, if NLTP is lifted, could be diverted into departments like education, rural infrastructure. So, sir, do you think it would be more beneficial to the Nagas as a whole if the NLTP Act is removed, sir?
You see, NLTP Act, from day one, I've been against this Act. It is either two ways. One, lift it, or total prohibition. It's either one. If you're going to implement it, it's nothing like total prohibition. If you can really implement it, we are a Christian state. But if you cannot lift it, if you cannot ban it, then the only option is lift it, isn't it? And to be very frank, this NLTP Act is a failure, number one. Number two, it has done more harm than good. In many ways, let me not elaborate. For example, the price. You go to Assam, a bottle may cost you 80 rupees, but here it's around 400, double or triple. Forget about the price. The liquor you get is adulterated. It's going to cost your life. If it doesn't take your life, you're going to be hospitalized. And for drinking that, you're going to spend lakhs and lakhs of money in the hospital for treatment. Isn't it? And now because of this, once we try to ban it again, drug users are increasing. So many side effects have. So for me, I don't drink. And when I don't drink, people will think that he'll be for total ban. But no, I am for lifting the ban.
Also, sir, you just mentioned that the side effects is also the increase of drug takers in Nagaland. Yeah. And so over the past few years, I think Nagaland has seen a rampant increase of people abusing drugs. And now there is this particular drug called the sunflower,
right,
which is now getting very famous even amongst the youth, sir. Yeah. So as the leader of the NPF Legislative Party, sir, so what could be ways to tackle this drug menace?
The question you are putting to me, I will be putting it to the government because I'm not in the government. Yes, one way it's an opposition-less government, for which we thank them, but we're not taking part totally in the government. On issue-based support, we're supporting the government. So now that question, I think we have to raise to the government so that they bring up some stringent laws to implement, to tackle this menace.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us on Hornbill TV and giving us your time and being so patient with us and sharing your point of view on the vast issues that we spoke about. So you're in office and you seem to be pretty busy, but we really appreciated that you gave us some time, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And so that was the Mr. Charismatic, Mr. Azo, who just shared his views on various issues that could impact Nagas too and the citizens of the country as a whole. Well, specifically talking about the Uniform Civil Code, Mr. Azo has specifically mentioned that what the government is intending to integrate the nation through implementing the Uniform Civil Code could actually backfire and disintegrate the country more, in which especially Naga's right could also be hampered and then we would lose our identity. Well, that was his point of view over the range of topics, and we hope that as a leader he continues to work hard and he continues to be the face of the people and the voice of the Nagas. And that was all for this special presentation. We'll be back with more interviews and reports like this, so keep watching Hornbill TV.